June 6, 1944. Dawn over Omaha Beach, Normandy. The roar of naval guns fades into the crash of waves as the first American landing craft grind onto the shingle. Amid the chaos of machine gun fire and exploding obstacles, something metallic glints through the smoke. Dozens of M4 Sherman tanks, their 75mm guns spitting fire toward German bunkers. Inside one, a gunner in the 743rd Tank Battalion wipes sweat from his brow, the turret traversing with a hydraulic whine. "Keep moving," the commander shouts over the intercom. The tracks chew through wet sand, climbing the draw. Across the hedgerows in a camouflaged Panther AUSF. Die of the 12th SS Panzer Division Hitlerjugend, Obersturmführer Michael Wittmann, peers through his periscope. The young ace, already legendary from Kursk, watches the Shermans lumber forward like clumsy boxes on tracks. "Look at them," he mutters to his loader. "American tin cans. One good hit and they'll brew up like petrol tins." His crew chuckles. The Panther's 75mm KWK-42, longer and deadlier than anything the Sherman carries, has already claimed dozens in the East. They call the Sherman easy prey. British crews whisper Tommy Cooker. Some even joke about Ronson, the lighter that lights first time every time. To the Germans, it's just another enemy machine to smash. You can almost feel the confidence in that steel turret. The metallic tang of gun oil, the low growl of the Maybach engine, the certainty that German engineering reigns supreme. Tigers and Panthers, with sloped armor and high-velocity guns, punch through Shermans at ranges where the American 75mm bounces off like hail on a roof. In early clashes around Caen, Wittmann's single Tiger destroys 14 Shermans and 15 other vehicles in minutes. German radio chatter buzzes with triumph. The armies bring toys. We bring death, but peel back the bravado. Intelligence reports trickle in, endless convoys unloading at Mulberry harbors. Shermans rolling off LSTs by the hundreds. German crews laugh it off. "They burn so easily," one Panther commander boasts after knocking out 3 in a single engagement. One AP round through the side and the ammunition cooks off like a Ronson lighter. First hit, instant flame. The nickname spreads in jest, a grim compliment to how quickly Shermans could turn into torches. Wet stowage? Not yet widespread. Early models carry ammo in sponsons, vulnerable to hits. Crews bail out fast when fires start, hatches flying open as orange flames lick the turret ring. Yet even in those early days, something nags. A knocked-out Sherman smokes by the roadside, crew escaped. Hours later, another identical one rumbles past. Same markings, same engine whine. Then another. The Germans dismiss it. They have reserves, but the reserves seem bottomless. In bocage country, where hedgerows turn fields into kill zones, Shermans take hits, burn, get towed back or abandoned. Then replacements appear, fresh from the docks, crews green but determined. Field Marshal Rommel, before his wounds, warns in reports, "The enemy's greatest strength is his production." But frontline crews, high on early victories, don't feel it yet. They see burning Shermans and think victory. They don't see the factories in Detroit and Detroit churning out 1,000 tanks a month. As summer drags on, the laughter quiets. A Panther crew knocks out a Sherman platoon, 5 burning hulks. They celebrate over schnapps. Then from the next hedgerow, 5 more Shermans crest the rise, guns traversing. The cycle repeats, knock one out. 2 more appear. The Ronson burns brightly, but the waves keep coming. And the Germans begin to wonder, how many can we kill before they overwhelm us? July 1944, bocage country south of St. Lo. The hedgerows rise like green walls, thick with Normandy earth and tangled roots. Visibility drops to 50 yards. A Panther from the 2nd SS Panzer Division. Das Reich idles in a sunken lane, engine throttled low, commander scanning through binoculars. Obersturmführer Ernst Barkmann, another rising ace, spots movement. 3 Shermans cresting a low rise, their cast hulls glinting in the dappled sun. "American trash," he whispers into the throat mic. The gunner traverses, the long 75mm KWK-42 locking on the lead tank's flank. One shot, the AP round punches clean through the sponson. A heartbeat later, flame erupts from the turret ring, black smoke billowing as the ammunition cooks off. The crew bails. 3 make it out, rolling in the grass, uniforms smoldering. The other two Shermans reverse frantically into cover. Inside the Panther, the loader slaps Barkman's shoulder. Ronson again lights first time. Laughter ripples through the crew compartment, sharp and brittle. The nickname has taken root, not from some official German report, but from battlefield gallows humor echoing back from the east and now Normandy. British crews had grumbled, "Tommy Cooker," since El Alamein. Flamethrower variants carried real Ronson devices, but the myth stuck to the standard M4. A hit, a flash, a pillar of fire. Crews joked the Sherman lights every time. To the Germans facing them, it seemed true enough in those early weeks. Dry stowage ammo racks, shells stacked in the sponsons, no protection beyond thin steel, turned penetrations into infernos. Gasoline engines didn't help. Once the fire reached the fuel lines, the whole tank became a torch. You can almost smell it, the acrid bite of burning rubber and cordite, the metallic heat-warping hatches, the desperate clangs as crews hammer at stuck escape doors. German reports from the front lines note it clinically. Sherman burns violently after penetration. High crew losses from fire. But they also note something else. The crews escape more often than expected. The Sherman's high silhouette, large hatches, and roomy interior give men seconds to bail. Panthers and Tigers, cramped and heavy-doored, trap their own crews when fires start. The Germans mock the Ronson, but deep down they envy the survivability. Yet the flames don't tell the full story. By mid-July, upgrades trickle to the front. Wet stowage begins appearing in new M4A3 75W models. Ammunition bins surrounded by water glycol jackets. A hit ruptures the bin. Liquid spills, smothering sparks, buying precious seconds. Fire rates drop from 60–80% in dry stowage Shermans to 10–15%. Crews still burn sometimes, old stocks linger, applique armor plates welded over sponsons offer stopgap protection, but the Ronson reputation starts to crack even as the jokes persist. The Germans keep knocking them out. A single Panther or Tiger can claim 5–6 Shermans in an ambush. But each kill costs time, ammunition, fuel the Panzers can't replace. While a knocked-out Panther might sit for days awaiting scarce recovery vehicles, a burning Sherman gets bypassed. Hours later, engineers drag it clear or leave it as a landmark. Then the replacements arrive. From the Mulberry Harbors and later Cherbourg, LSTs unload hundreds daily. Detroit's arsenal of democracy, Chrysler, Fisher Body, pressed steel, churns out M4s at peaks of 2,000 per month. Germany struggles for 100 Tigers, maybe 300 Panthers if lucky. The math is merciless. Knock one Sherman out. Two more roll up the next day. Fresh crews, full ammo, engines tuned. The bocage becomes a grinder. Hedgerows favor ambush, but American infantry with bazookas and engineers with Kulin hedgerow cutters, those improvised tusks welded to Sherman prows, rip through the green walls, letting tanks flank. In a ruined farmhouse near Villers-Bocage, a Panther crew watches yet another Sherman platoon advance after losing 3 to mines and piquets. The commander lowers his binoculars. "They don't stop coming," he mutters. No laughter this time. The Ronson burns brightly, but the fire illuminates something worse. The enemy has an endless supply of kindling. The myth of easy kills fades. The reality of overwhelming quantity sets in, and the waves grow larger. August 1944, the Falaise Pocket, Normandy. The once proud Panzer divisions of Army Group B are squeezed into a shrinking cauldron between the advancing Americans from the south and the British Canadians from the north. Roads clog with wrecked vehicles, burning fuel bowsers, and desperate infantry fleeing on foot. In a narrow defile near Argentan, a battered Panther AOSF G from the 116th Panzer Division lurks hull down behind a hedge, its commander scanning the horizon through smoke. The engine idles rough, parts scavenged, fuel rationed, ammo low, crew exhausted. Then they appear. First one Sherman, then two, then a platoon, 6 M4A3 75Ws rolling forward in echelon, supported by infantry and tank destroyers. The Panther's gunner acquires the lead tank, squeezes the trigger. The long 75mm cracks. The round slams home, punching through the Sherman's turret side. Flame erupts immediately, orange tongues licking from the hatches. But the crew bails fast, 3 figures tumbling out, one limping away under covering fire. The Panther reloads. Another Sherman advances, gun traversing. The German fires again. Another hit. Another fire. 2 down. The remaining 4 press on, machine guns chattering, shells bursting around the Panther's position. The commander shouts for reverse, but the tracks spin in mud. A bazooka round glances off the mantlet. Then, from the tree line, more Shermans crest the rise. Another platoon, fresh markings, engines roaring. The cycle repeats, knock one out, burn it brightly, and 2 more take its place. You can almost hear the disbelief in the intercom. They don't stop. How many do they have? The Ronson myth still lingers. Those that burn do so spectacularly, but the numbers drown it out. German crews tally kills in the dozens, yet the American line advances. A single knocked-out Sherman might sit smoldering for hours. Recovery teams drag it back if possible, or leave it as an obstacle. But replacements pour in relentlessly. From the beaches to the front, truck convoys haul fuel, parts, and whole tanks. The Red Ball Express, America's improvised supply lifeline, delivers thousands of tons daily. Shermans roll off railheads, unloaded from LSTs at Cherbourg, driven straight into battle. German intelligence knows the figures, but frontline reality hits harder. A Panther or Tiger might destroy 5 Shermans before being flanked or out of ammo. But Germany produces perhaps 300 Panthers a month at peak, spread across 2 fronts. The U.S. builds over 2,000 Shermans monthly in 1944, many shipped directly to Europe. One division's losses replaced overnight. A knocked-out platoon, another arrives at dawn, crews briefed, guns zeroed. By late summer, upgrades compound the problem. Wet stowage Shermans appear in greater numbers, ammo bins flooded with water glycol mixture, a penetrating hit. The liquid spills, smothering sparks, dropping catastrophic fire rates from 60–80% in dry models to 10–15%. Crews survive more often, remount fresh tanks, fight again. The Germans notice fewer total burnouts, more persistent attacks. What was once a quick kill becomes a prolonged engagement. In the pocket, the trap closes. Panzers run dry, guns silent from lack of shells. Shermans swarm the gaps, supported by Jabos, P-47 Thunderbolts strafing anything that moves. Columns of wrecked Panthers and Tigers line the roads, abandoned for want of fuel or parts. American crews pass them without stopping. Why bother? More Shermans follow. A surviving German tanker captured near Chambois stares at the endless American armor rumbling past his POW column. "We killed so many," he mutters to his guard. But they always came back. No arrogance left. Only grim understanding. The Ronson burned, yes, but America had an ocean of fuel to keep lighting them. The myth of German superiority crumbles under sheer weight, and the advance continues toward the Reich. September 1944, the Siegfried Line, German border. The hedgerows of Normandy are behind them. Ahead lie Dragon's Teeth, pillboxes, and the West Wall fortifications. Inside a camouflaged Panther G of the 9th Panzer Division, the commander, now a weary Hauptmann who has survived Falaise, peers through the periscope at the approaching American column. Dust rises in the late summer heat. Shermans again, dozens, perhaps 100 in this sector alone. They move in waves, lead platoon probes, second follows with infantry, third holds reserve. The Panther's gun is loaded, engine warm. The crew has become efficient at the kill. Acquire, fire, watch the flash, confirm the brew up. The first Sherman takes a hit square on the turret cheek. Flame jets from the roof vents, but only briefly. Wet stowage does its job. The fire smothers itself in glycol mist. The crew bails, but the tank doesn't explode catastrophically. It sits smoking, useless, but not a total write-off. The Americans don't retreat. They call artillery. 105 MIDI howitzers walk shells across the field. The Panther rocks under near misses. The commander orders reverse, slowly, tracks grinding. Another Sherman advances, 76mm gun elevated. The German fires again. Hit. This one burns brighter, older dry stowage model, but the crew escapes cleanly. Then the wave surges. From the flanks, more Shermans appear. Easy 8 variants now, with wider tracks. HVSS suspension, 76mm guns that can actually threaten the Panther at range. They don't charge blindly. They use fire and maneuver, infantry with bazookas creeping forward under cover. The Panther knocks out 2 more, 3. But for every kill, the line advances, ammo dwindles. The loader's hands shake as he rams the last AP round home. You can almost feel the shift in that steel coffin, the sour taste of spent brass, the low rumble of approaching engines, the growing realization that this isn't a battle of skill anymore. It's arithmetic. German tanks are masterpieces of engineering, sloped armor, powerful guns, precise optics. But they are few. Recovery is slow, parts are scarce, fuel is rationed by the leader. A knocked-out Panther might be towed back if a prime mover arrives in time, then repaired weeks later. A Sherman, abandoned or cannibalized on the spot, and tomorrow a factory-fresh replacement takes its place. By autumn, the myth of the Ronson has become a bitter joke among the Panzer crews. They still see Shermans burn, especially when side skirts are hit or older models appear, but the fires are less frequent, less decisive. What terrifies them now isn't the flame, it's the inevitability. Reports from the Ardennes offensive, December 1944, tell the same story. Initial shock and heavy American losses in the fog, but then the clouds lift, Jabos swarm, and the Shermans roll forward again, thousands strong. The German spearheads run dry 50 miles short of their goals. Fuel Bowsers captured, then lost. Shermans keep coming. A captured German tanker, interviewed by American intelligence near Bastogne, sums it up with hollow eyes. We could destroy them one by one, but they sent 10 for everyone we burned. We ran out of shells before they ran out of tanks. No laughter, no boasts. Just the cold math of industrial war. In Berlin, the high command knows. Speer's production reports show the disparity. Germany's tank output peaks at perhaps 1 to 800 armored vehicles a month across all types in late 1944, while the U.S. alone delivers over 2,000 Shermans monthly to Europe, plus thousands more to the Soviets and British. The Ronson nickname fades from frontline talk. It's replaced by grim acceptance. The American tank isn't superior in quality. It's superior in quantity, and quantity in this war has become its own quality. By spring 1945, as Allied armies cross the Rhine, the last Panzer reserves are committed in futile counterattacks. Shermans swarm the autobahns, bridges, towns. Crews who once mocked the tin can now abandon their own machines, out of fuel, out of hope. The waves have become a tide, and the tide washes over the Reich. The disbelief is gone, only defeat remains.